It may involve a flammable liquid and a torch. Just forget I said anything about that, because don't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. You guys got to see this. Does that look yummy or what? They went over the yard with the magnet and everything and got 95% of them, but the 5% are still causing problems. The 5% are still causing problems. You're about to see how dirty my truck is. It is filthy. Good morning, guys and gals. Well, mostly guys. When I look at my analytics on who's watching my videos, I think I'm at like at least 95% of my viewers are guys. So apparently the gals don't find my content very interesting. And actually probably most of the guys don't either. But anyway, but yeah, it says which two genders watch your videos. Mostly the males. So anyway, enough on that topic. If you know, you know. Heading to the farm, and I have a tire to fix on a semi, and that is not going to be a real fun job, but it's something that you guys haven't seen me do before, I don't think. So I know maybe there was reference that we fixed a tire. We did fix one about 3 weeks ago. Did not film it, but I'll film this one and show you guys how that whole process works. Fixing semi tires is not exciting work. The guys that do this full time, kudos to them, because I could not do it. I'm headed to the chiropractor this afternoon, so I kind of timed this tire fix accordingly. So I'm going to fix it this morning, and I'm going to the chiropractor this afternoon anyway, so I'll fix my back up after that. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll head in the shop here and get started. All right, there she is, waiting patiently for me to show up this morning and fix her kicks. My tire pencil, tire crayon, a little bit old and didn't work very well. But anyway, I did blow that tire up yesterday, put water on it, and found the hole that was bubbling. I think I had that in a video clip from yesterday. So anyway, I will start getting stuff rounded up and get ready to pull it off and fix it, put it back on. I just want to add something here. Fixing these tires is not fun. If there's anybody out there who thinks that fixing semi tires is fun, I would seriously have to question their mental state. Just saying. All right, got to take the valve stem out to get the air out of the tire. Got to keep your face back because that valve stem will want to shoot out of there. You want to try and grab it with your fingers right away. That's going to take a while to drain out. There's the tools. Some of the tools are going to need. All right, this is the part you got to be careful with. I've got an old story of, so here's what you're gonna use this tire hammer and try and get that to come right down there beside the rim and break that bead. You can walk around on it, and as you can see, oh, I was just about to say, as you can see, it's not gonna go by itself, but it did. But what I was about to tell you is, you got to be careful not to hit the rim. Many years ago, like probably 25 years ago when I was still in the trucking industry doing this kind of stuff more often, I accidentally nicked the edge of that rim and it put a piece of metal, it was just like a razor blade sticking up off that rim. And for whatever reason, I wasn't putting a tire back on that rim. And I rolled that rim across. We didn't have this shop, it was in the old Morton building. I rolled it across to put it over by the wall and kind of had my hand guiding it, and that piece of aluminum or that little razor blade sticking out caught my little finger, my little pinky, and sliced it open pretty bad. So you really got to be careful with these, and if you do hit them, check them. You might have to buff that rim back out and clean that up so you don't cut yourself on it. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, let's get back to work here. Now I could put a piece of carpet down or whatever to protect the rim. We don't have super polished rims, whatever. I'll just be careful with it, not get too crazy. Let's see if I'm lucky enough on this side. Hey, look at there. Okay, I will go get some tire slime. You guys got to see this. Does that look yummy or what? So back in the day, what we used to use is just like Dawn dish soap and water in a little bucket. I'm sure this is better. I don't know what it is. Murphy's Tire and Tube Mounting Compound. Well, we're gonna use it for dismounting as well. See if we can make our life a little bit easier here. At least get it on the edge of the rim. Then the tool I'm about to use, usually you use 2 bars. This tool, if you remember how to use it, which I used it about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I hadn't used it for like over 20 years, so bear with me. I'll see if I can get this working correctly, but supposedly I can, usually the bars, you'd have to get the one side, then you'd have to flip it and get the other side. Anyway, you'll see how this works. Hopefully you'll see how this works. Okay, kick down on the back side to give it some room. Okay, so now there's that, and I'll bring this up and over. Then I reach down in and, yeah, they make it look so much easier on the training videos. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab the other side of that tire. Okay, I've got it finally. Like I said, bear with me, I'm a rookie. Okay. There it went. Tires off. That was fun. And just in case you were wondering, that was sarcastic. It wasn't fun. I gotta find my, oh, it's clear at the bottom. Oh, would you look at that? You guys gotta see what I see. Let's see if we can find the problem. Look at there. Whoops. That seems like that could be a problem. We'll get that pulled out of there and fix her up. All right, see if we can get that out of there. Okay, there it is. Little ring shank like a roofing nail or something. We've had 2 derechos come through here in the last 10 years. I don't remember. Well, it was 2011 and it's 2020, I believe. So we can't find it very surprising that we're finding nails and stuff in the yard and picking them up. So they went over the yard with the magnet and everything and got 95% of them, but the 5% are still causing problems. The 5% are still causing problems. Okay, I'm going to shove this little file through that hole just to make sure that there's no more metal in there. They do have these on a little, you can put on a little drill or grinder or whatever, but I'm pretty sure all of it came out. I just want to make sure that nothing works its way back in and pops the patch. Yeah, it's coming through. Okay, there's nothing in that hole. So now we're gonna get ready to fix it. Our tools needed for this step in the process. We will grind it down and get it cleaned up so that our patches can adhere, but we've got the cement for that, and then the roller to get it on there solid. Make sure it sticks and doesn't come loose. Safety glasses, hearing protection. This time, do as I do. Protect your eyes, protect your ears. Trust me, I know, I have constant ringing in my ears. I never wore hearing protection like I should have. I don't want to touch that. I don't want to contaminate it, but I don't want the dust on it either. So I need to, I'll probably use an air compressor just to blow that out of there, make sure that's out of there. Then I'll put some cement on it, or glue, whatever you want to call it. Now we've got to let that glue dry. All right. That looks like that dried down where we need it to be dry, so let's put the patch in. These patches are directional. I never knew them to be that way before, but they want the arrows to go towards the bead. Don't touch the sticky part if you can help it. All right, go right over that hole, right there. And we'll this is just rolling, making sure all the air's out of it. Go a couple different directions if you want. In the old days, that little plastic piece would rip loose, but last time we did a tire, we did this and rolled and rolled and rolled, and that plastic never did come loose. We had to rip it off there, and that tire's still holding there. Okay, so getting that plastic pulled off there. Not sure if I'm supposed to do this or not, but I'm going to hit it again just to make sure. I think that's good enough. All right. See if we can get this bad boy back on there. Let's get some more of this snot. You do the outside bead or side of the tire first. I do. I don't want to do this side first and then reach through and get it on my arms. Anyway, we're just putting a little slime on here, so kind of hopefully make things go a little easier. Now, these tires are not directional, so a lot of times you can get that first one in without tools, but I am a rookie after all. I am not a semi-tire fixer by trade, but I play one on YouTube. Okay. And this is where you stand on the tire to kind of hold the bead down where it belongs. And I put that under there, rotate it. Let me get this camera over here. What are you guys doing sitting over there? And don't get weird on me here. I'm looking between my legs. All right. Trying not to block your view. Should be able to get it. There it went. All right. Now, if I'm lucky, I can sit this up and maybe it'll bead up by itself without having to use the air cannon. But let me guess, you guys want to see how that works, right? I'm going to see if I can bead this up without that first, and we'll go from there. Now the valve stem is still out, which gives you maximum airflow, which is what you want when you're trying to get that tire seated back on there. Ooh, we may have gotten lucky. I'm not sure. I think we got lucky. I think. Yep, she's filling up. Sorry, you guys don't get to see how the air cannon works today. Now, try and stay off to the side when you're doing this. These aren't near as likely to come off the rim when you're blowing it up as the old split rims. I'll see if I can find a picture of an old split rim. Those were very... Okay, air compressor's done running. So what I was saying about split rim tires is that they were easier to put the tire on the rim because the tire just slid right over the rim, but then you had a steel ring that you had to put around there. And if that did not get seated on that rim properly, you could go to, when you started filling that tire with air, it would blow that ring off and it literally could take your head off. There was a lot of people seriously injured from split rim tires. So they're not very common anymore, which is good. This was not a difficult job. It's not a job that you look forward to doing, but it's nice when you can do it on your own. As with any job, it helps to have the proper tools, and I've put some of them away already, but you know, that makes all the difference in pretty much whatever you're doing. If you've got the right tools, usually the job's not that terrible. So, but the thing is, you know, when you're harvesting, it never fails, you're going to have a flat tire after 5 o'clock or on the weekend. That's when your flat tires show up. It's never Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. That's not when your flat tires show up. You guys know how it is. So it's nice to be able to have a shop and the tools to be able to do this yourself. So anyway, not super exciting, but something different for the channel. Thought you might enjoy seeing the tire fix. So let's get that thing put on and I can quit babbling. Oh, I'm gonna explain this. I'm gonna call it the air cannon. Some of them, there's a brand name called Cheetah. I don't even know what this one is. But anyway, what it is, you fill this with air. Try and get my camera. I don't have my camera girl here. She's got a couple more days of work and then she's retiring as well. And then she's gonna be able to be with me most of the times unless she's got stuff going, other things going on, but she's gonna be with me a lot more. But anyway, you fill this up, clear full. It's got a pressure gauge on it. You put this if you have a tire that's not beaten up, it'll be laying on the ground. You will have a gap here. You would put your air chuck on here. That's a locking air chuck that you put it on there and can let go and it'll stay on there. Get that air going. Put that nozzle, that cannon right there, and as quickly as you can, turn that valve wide open and that blast all that air in there, which hopefully will blow this tire up and seat it, and then you got air going in here and that'll keep it filling. Now there is another way of seating tires, beating them. I'm not sure the proper term. It may involve a flammable liquid and a torch. I may or may not have done it before, I don't know, but I would not recommend it. We don't do that anymore. It's like one of those things that's like last resort. And yeah, it can work, but you definitely don't want to put too much in the tire. And anyway, just forget I said anything about that, because don't do it. I'm gonna show you another version. The Cheetah's, I'm gonna say newer technology. We bought this one from an old tire shop, and we used this one for years before the Cheetahs came out. I'm gonna say Cheetah's air cannon. But this ring would sit on the tire, and you could adjust it to fit the size of the tire, but you basically had air going in 4 spots. You had a lot bigger tank. Works really well. It's just big and cumbersome, so you can see it's collecting a lot of dust. But that one does actually work better than that little air cannon, because you're so limited on the size of that tank. You know, obviously that thing is way bigger. You just set it beside, the tire. I gotta learn how this camera thing works. Make sure I'm in the frame all the time. But yeah, that one does work better. But that now is our last resort. We don't do the one I told you to forget I even said anything about. We don't do that anymore. That was back in the day when we were doing a lot of tires. The Cheetah, or the air cannon, I don't even think that thing was even around yet or invented or whatever, but you know, we've been in the trucking business, gosh, way back, maybe around 1990 is when we started having semis. So yeah, there's once in a while you'd take, you get to Cedar Rapids and realize you got a flat tire. Well, let's go to the tire shop and get it fixed or whatever. So we don't fix all of our tires, and we're gonna start to do more because we've got the stuff. It doesn't really take that long. I mean, seriously, this whole thing took me about an hour at the most. So it's not that big of a deal. If you do it more often, it's just gonna go quicker and quicker each time. But anyway, those are the 2 styles of the air cannons, I'll call them. But let's get this thing back on here, and my mouth's getting dry from talking too much. Hopefully my jack didn't settle. I'm gonna put a little spray on. There's little places where your rim rides, like right there. Pointing with my naughty finger again, sorry. There's like 4 of them. I'm gonna lubricate those just a little bit just to make my life simpler. I'm all about making my life simpler. Like I said, I'm not a professional tire guy. So if you are, and this is not recommended, let me know. But for this one, that's how it's gonna be. Now, 9 times out of 10, your jack will settle on you a little bit. Let's see if it did or didn't. Now there's rollers on this little carrier. There. There, that slid on there a lot easier. Okay. This is a cap to keep the dirt out, but it also, you can actually check the tire pressure and actually put air in through that cap, because this inside rim is hard to get to. So it's hard to reach in there and get a little tiny cap off. And that's where this valve stem is. So you want the other valve stem directly opposite. Which, that's why, there's the rollers right there. All right, where is it? So we gotta roll it. A lot of grunting. One more. All right, there we go. They are opposite. Now, we do like to put a little bit of anti-seize on these threads here. Mix it up good. And you do not want to put a lot of this on there. So I'm gonna put one on because my tire's wanting to tip out on me. I'm gonna put one on, snug it up, and then I'll get one on the top, and then I can do the rest. Try and get any dust off of the face of it. And this rim will center up as I tighten it up too. A little bit of anti-seize on the rest of them. Like I say, I'm not putting a whole lot on here. It's just enough to hopefully make it so that comes off easier next time. This one actually came off pretty easy this time, but all right. This is where it's nice to have these coveralls because I can wipe it right on there. Now we'll just snug these up, try and get this tire up here and centered. Kind of go crisscross. All right. Now I think we're good. Let's tighten them up. And you always want to grease your fifth wheel before you hook back up to a trailer. We just usually buy a bucket of grease, which it's about empty. You don't want to overdo it because when you slide under the trailer, you'll just slide it right off the front. So get it greased up, but don't be dumb. Don't overdo it. They do have like plastic rings you can put on here that would slide instead of greasing. But hey, who doesn't like to paint with grease? All right, I think that's good. I put my safety glasses on for this one. This whole big hose is full of air. The valve shut off there. This is a air cannon in and of itself. Okay. All right. That's where that hose lives. Once in a while, it's good to drain your air compressor. All right. Hey, lube the door. Oh, it's creaking a little bit. It was creaking way worse. Let's turn the battery on. Okay. Yep. Sounds like we got power. We're in neutral, brakes are set. I have no idea what all that is. Come on, you guys can come along, let's go. You guys need to quit sitting around. It's time for you to start pulling your weight. All right, you guys ready? Hang on. Hang on. I think I'll stop at the fuel barrel and fuel it up. It's a little bit less than half. That way it's ready to go next time we want to go with it. Stupid automatics. Usually in a normal truck, you just put it in gear and you just let it creep its way out. With an automatic, if your foot's not on the accelerator, it'll eventually stop. I don't know. All for you, Brent. Come on, let's go. Or are we trying to take off in 4th gear? Volvo Link hardware failure. Use paper logbook. I guess it's not recording my drive time, I guess. Whatever. Oh no. Come on, here we go again. I'll carry you guys. Oh! Jeez. Okay. There's our grease. Sparrows. I hear sparrows. It doesn't look like we're going to end up scraping it off. I've got the trailer high enough, so you guys sit here and let me know how that looks. Okay, now, I don't want that gap there when I go to hook into that pin, so turn this way. You gotta watch. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do, but now, keep an eye in there. I'm gonna lower that down, close that gap. Okay, here goes nothing. All right, I pulled ahead just to make sure we're locked up. I make sure that that handle's back in place. So if I hook that up correctly, this should work. And it does. Okay. I'll get it. You guys just stand there and watch. I got it. 55-year-old plus guy grunting every time he has to bend down, pick something up. I need to exercise more. I forgot to go to the gym yesterday. That's 5 years in a row now. Dad joke. I use that on my Facebook page already. So if you follow me on Facebook, you've already heard that one. Sorry. It's all good. We're not going to do anything with this truck today. I'm going to shut it off. We're going to make sure that, well, things are shut off. But it really isn't going to be too critical because you know what we're going to do next. You guys walk, or do I need to carry you? Hang on. All right, you guys, let's go. Really? Oh my gosh. You guys are ridiculous. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, probably, unless I change my mind, and I tend to do that a lot. We'll get that 225 out, pull it in the shop, and get ready to clean it up and service it. Get all the stuff done on that, get it ready to go for planting as well. That one goes on the Kinsey planter for beans. So anyway, both of them need to be done. The John Deere 8370 is ready to go. If I get the 225 Case International ready, then they'll both be ready, and I can hook onto the John Deere planter and get it pulled in the shop. Man, it's like I'm a little bit winded. All right, you guys wanted to see how the air cannon works. I got it filled up. I got some dust from the shop floor. Here we go before my battery gets dead. There you have it. Now quit your whining. Anybody out here who thinks it is fun, I would seriously want to if there's anybody out here I'll see if I can find a picture of an old split rim. Those were very
and that's all, folks.